So we're going to start today's lesson by quickly reviewing what you worked on last week, which is action verbs. So as you learned from fourth grade and third grade and second grade and probably even first grade, action verbs are words that you can go outside and do. You can run, you can dive, you can jump, you can sing, you can talk, you can whisper, you can yell, you can crawl, you can walk, you can read. Anything that you can do with your body is what we would call an action verb. So in these sentences here, number one, you would say that laughing would be an action verb. You would say throwing would be an action verb. Ran, tripped, tore, rides, ate, and sipped. And another way that you can do this is you can look at what the subject of the sentence is. The subject of the sentence is a hurricane, right? What did the hurricane do? It struck. The subject here is waves. What did the waves do? They crashed. The subject here is wind. What did the wind do? It blew. Here the subject is trees. What did the trees do? They bent. Here the subject is the rains. What did they do? They fell. Here the subject is the storms. What did the storm do? It passed. And here the subject is homeowners. And what will they do? They will worry, which means that struck, crashed, blew, bent, fell, passed, and worry would be the verb. Okay? So the second lesson, by the way, that was all reviewed on page 36 of your workbook, which you should have turned in this morning. If you didn't turn it in, you might want to because you already received a 0 for it. So the second lesson for chapter 3 for grammar is on direct objects. And this is actually something that you haven't learned before, so you want to make sure for definitely that you're paying attention carefully. So we know that some sentences express a complete thought with a subject and an action verb. The ship sails. Mrs. Feldman ate. The teacher yelled. The students listened, right? There's not a lot more to it than that. But in other sentences, a direct object is used that tells or receives the action of the verb, and that's important. So the sentence would be, the captain steers the big ship. And you always would ask yourself, what did the captain steer? The ship. Okay, let's look at the next one. His crew always obeys him. What does the crew do? It obeys. Who does it obey, or what does it obey? Him. So it sounds a little bit confusing. Let's do some ones together. Okay, and you'll notice that in these example ones, there's always a question. Jane is scared of thunder. Jane, scared. What is she scared of? Thunder. Let's do the second one. The subject is he. What did he do? He shut. And what did he shut? The windows. So windows would be the direct object, just like thunder would be in the first one. In the third one, we would say he. What did he do? He read. What did he read? A book. So the direct object would be book. In the next one, we would say, what is the subject? What is the sentence about? The storm. What will it do? Will not hurt. Will not hurt who? Him. Meaning that the direct object would be him. Now let's try the next one. He, what will he do? Will draw. What will he draw? Pictures. So pictures would be the direct object. Now what I want you to do now is I want you to look at these sentences and find out what you think the direct object is. Write it down on a little piece of paper. You don't need to scrap, a piece of scrap paper or your whiteboard or something along those lines. And then pause the video now and go ahead and write down the answers to what you think are the answers for these 5 questions. Go ahead and do it now. So welcome back. Hopefully you wrote down what you thought were the answers to these 5 questions in front of you, and now I'll tell you. The first one would be fields, because the storm soaked. What did it soak? Fields. The second one would be tree. The wind, what did it do? It toppled, and what did it topple? The tree. So number 1 would be fields, and 2 would be tree. Number 3 would be roof. Hail, what did it do? It pelted. What did it pelt? The roof. For the number 4, the answer would be books. What did we do? We read. What did we read? Books. And the last one, the barn would be the answer, barn. So we have fields, tree, roof, book, and barn. What did the storm do? It destroyed. What did it destroy? The barn. Okay? So what I want you to do now is I want you to pause the video and do the answers for these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 questions, and then we'll come back and we'll answer them together. So on the same piece of scrap paper, go ahead. You can do the answers now. Go ahead. Welcome back. Hopefully you wrote the answers to what you think are the direct objects of these 7 sentences in front of you, and I'll read the answers and tell you what they are now. The first one would be planets. The second one would be observations. The third one would be discoveries. The fourth, telescopes. The fifth would be lens. The sixth would be pictures. And the seventh would be them. So we have planets, observations, discoveries, telescopes, lens, pictures, and them. Okay, so that's what you need to do for lessons 1 and 2. And what I'd like you to do now is I'd like you to be working on workbook page 38. Workbook page 38 is dealing with direct objects. So go ahead and work on that now. You can work on it and finish it tonight for homework. You can work on it now and finish it and put it in the bin, but you will be expected to finish it at some point. So please start working on that now. Feel free to go back to the video if you need any help. Okay, bye.